You guys want to rest here?
Something feels odd here. Be on your guard.
Don't get careless.
Don't kill me!
You're finished!
I'm not so good with airborne targets.
Pesky airborne scoundrel!
Sounds like a job for yours truly.
You're mine!
Leave the charges to me!
I'm not done! Pierce through! Sonic thrust! Orochi Fury!
Begin! Storm!
A thrilling performance.
Now! Astral energy!
Say no more! Got it!
Well done!
Thank you! Sonic thrust! Pierce through!
Begin!
Now!
Together, that wasn't even a problem.
This won't be easy.
Demon Fang!
Don't be such a pessimist.
Thrust! Here I come!
Where are you going? Airborne beam. My spec.
I'm ready! Kisara! Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone!
I wonder if we can make new weapons with this.
All right. There's nowhere to run from my arts.
When he slows down, that's our chance! Take it!
Raging Luna
It's
Storm!
over!
No further!
Take this! You're finished!
Sleep now.
I'll face you.
I'll be
Fear
standing
Explosive ring!
Elusive deity! Prepare to be sealed,
You're
O
mine!
fleet of foot. Actually, that sound is more appropriate.
Let's talk in more
Try
doing.
this!
Raging
Explosive
Storm!
ring!
Resonate with the earth!
Freeze laser!
Stalagmite! On your knees!
You're mine!
No further!
Searing flames! Reload!
You're mine!
Wait! You require
Thunder blade!
Take this! Orochi Fury!
Mega ray!
Demon Fang! Try this!
Lightning orb!
Explosive
Lightning
ring!
condense! Thunder blade!
It's over!
begin!
I'm out of ammo!
Orochi Fury!
Tempest!
Photon lightning
You're
condense!
finished! Sonic thrust!
Lunar corruption!
Here I
I'll
come!
face you!
Catapult!
Here goes!
Here I come!
Avenger! Gemini Aqua!
Pierce through!
Mega ray!
Take this!
Elusive deity!
Strike! Try this!
Raging cascade!
Good!
I'm only getting
Not a
started!
chance!
In here!
Anything in armor is all mine!
Annihilation!
I'll face you!
Do it!
Explosive ring! Kisara! Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone!
Got some interesting moves there, Dohalim. I'm glad you're on our side.
I'm simply glad to hear that I can make myself useful to you all. Huh?
What's wrong?
We seem to have come across some rather unusual objects.
What, you mean that pile of garbage?
No mere garbage, I assure you. Still, I've never seen anything shaped like it before. I'm intrigued.
Are you curious about this stuff, Rinwell?
Yeah. I think he might have found some old Danon relics. They look like the remains of a bunch of objects that disappeared after the Renans first invaded.
And yet here I am, holding them without so much as a second thought. I imagine the sight must be unsettling to you.
Not really, just that it must be nice to be a Renin who has time to indulge in stuff like that, unlike the rest of us.
Are you interested in this stuff too, Dohalim?
Charmed may be a better turn of phrase. I simply love objects that can give me a sense of what their maker was thinking, the history that went into their creation. You see, we Renins have hardly any such objects that trace back to our distant past.
I still don't understand what you two find so intriguing about it, though.
Why not? We're talking about our own culture here.
I get that, but it's not like this stuff is any use now, does it? It's just old. Real old.
Oh, but it does. Holding it in your hands like this, one can feel and engage with the distant past in a way no history book can ever accomplish.
I'll take your word for it. Well, seeing as it's Danon history, just make sure you're careful with it. All right, Dohalim?
But of course.
I sense a strange power from this.
I need to be stronger. I just noticed none of you other Danons have spirit cores. Why is that?
Both of my parents were part of the resistance in Calaglia. In fact, my birth was kept a secret from the Renins.
Mine too. We always lived in hiding, so I never had a spirit core embedded in me like I was supposed to.
What about you, Alphen? You were a slave in Calaglia before all this, weren't you?
To be completely honest, I'm not sure why I don't have one. All the other Danon slaves around me did. I was the only exception. They tended to keep their distance from me to avoid attracting any attention from the soldiers, because of my mask and all. What about you, Kisara? Do you still have your spirit core?
No. I was able to find a good Renin doctor who's sympathetic to our kind, and had them remove it before I left. They did such a great job, the procedure didn't even leave a scar.
One of the benefits of coexistence, huh?
I know that once the spirit vessel was shut down, there wasn't much need for me to hurry. But still, I didn't like having that mark of servitude lingering on me any longer than I had to. It may sound a little strange to hear me say this, but I'm just me now. Not a guardsman or a slave. I'm my own woman, and this is my chance to have a new beginning.
This sure is one rugged road. You'd think they'd keep this at least a little better maintained, right?
Why spend energy fixing that which is rarely used? Repairs require time and effort, which in our world means slaves, often in great numbers. For you, it may be a simple request, but that can quickly become another's difficult burden. Nobody gains anything without someone expending effort.
And you know, somehow that someone always ends up being a Danon, while the Renins are the ones who gain.
True enough. Ideally, in a perfect world, I think it's only fair that the ones who need it should be the ones to perform the work.
However, when doing so could be dangerous like it is here, there are many who would prefer that it be others who risk their lives in their stead.
So, what you're saying is that people will just put up with the inconvenience until someone else comes along to fix it for them?
Indeed. And it is those who can no longer bear that feeling that inevitably take action. Much like the Danons in our group do so now. As strange as it may be to hear such a thing from the likes of myself.
It's true that most of the Danans in Calaglia have been resigned to just accepting things as they are. Still, we can't just blame them for...
What are you making that face for? You're not worn out already, are you?
Nah, just regretting I ever said anything in the first place.
Visibility along this path will remain limited for some time. Take care not to get ambushed.
I'm surprised you know the terrain here so well. Lords don't strike me as having much time for wandering in the woods.
Sometimes I would take strolls along here when I wished to be alone.
You always did have a bad habit of disappearing without telling any of us guardsmen.
This one will be difficult to predict. Stay calm. I shall provide assistance.
Demon Fang!
None shall escape my wrath!
You got flyers!
I've got this! Let a marksman handle it!
All yours!
Here I go!
I'll face you.
Rising Falcon!
Here I come! Who wants to die next?
Raging
By the power of water!
Plasma Shock! You're mine!
Naked the abyssal deep.
Devastation!
Clear for us a path.
Searing tempest!
You're mine! You're finished!
I never miss! Lightning! Raging cascade!
Demon Fang! You're
Only
mine!
getting danced in the wind! Now!
Plasma Shock!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
You're quite the gunslinger.
I have to be, in this world.
Don't worry, I've got your back.
No choice! Take this!
In a bind.
Cut!
And again!
Orochi Fury!
Snake of the abyssal
Start up.
deep. Clear for us a path. Leave the agile ones to me.
Demon Fang!
Power of water!
Devastation!
Tempest whirl!
Raging lunar storm.
Demon
The
Fang!
enemy wields arts too.
We'll soon see about that!
Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Resonate with the earth.
Tempest whirl!
Another incantation. Ruin. They took a lifetime to master.
Now!
I'll have to keep track.
Astral energy!
Say no more.
Got it!
Well done!
Not a chance!
Can you take it?
Orochi Fury!
Lightning
Plasma
orb!
Shock!
Now or never.
Here I come! You're finished!
Dance in the wind! Pierce evil! In here!
Demon Fang! Crush!
If it's in the sky, it's mine!
Ha! Burn!
Burning strike!
Here I come!
Pierce me now!
Negative gate.
More! Look sharp!
Lightning tiger blade.
I feel stronger. I mean, a bit.
Good. We're counting on you, Rinwell.
On me? Well, I'll do my best. It's so hilly around here. I can feel my feet getting blisters.
That's mountain hiking for you. It can be pretty tough if you're not used to these sorts of trails.
I take it you're comfortable with them then?
Let's dispose of the trash.
You're finished!
I'll face you.
Not on my watch!
Take this!
It's a duel of the arms! Raging cascade!
You're mine!
Flying free! Why didn't they just sit still?
Sia, can you take care of them?
No sooner said than done.
Here I come! You're finished! An astral...
Just like you.
Kisara! Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone.
Not a chance!
A freezing storm.
Air pressure! Come and face me! Strike! We've turned the tables on us!
There are still more left.
Right! No time to hold back!
Glacial Spear. Pierce evil. Vanquish Swordsman.
Plasma shock! Here I come!
Divine Healing.
Rising Falcon! Now I can let loose! You're mine! It's over! Demon Tag! Try this!
Ready.
I'm ready! Explosive ring!
Quite necessary when creating weaponry.
I've got a really bad feeling about this.
I'm not done!
Healing Circle.
Now I can let loose!
Sight.
No escape!
Raging
Thanks.
Cascade.
You're mine!
Elusive
Orochi's Fury!
Tornado Drive!
Begin. Lightning Orb. Water. Where will that come from?
It's over!
Magic is there.
Take this!
Feel. This is
Negative
storm.
On your... Take this!
Raging
You're finished!
Annihilation.
Rising
Feel.
Falcon!
Burning.
You're mine!
Leave the enemy's arcs to me.
No complaints here!
Begin! Azure Storm!
Raging Storm.
Take this!
Hey, when it is high. Light Astral Energy.
Air
A
pressure!
freezing storm.
Plasma shock!
Tornado. Chinese
You're mine!
Supernova.
Rising
Dance in the
Falcon!
wind.
You're finished!
Field. Water. Hear my
Elusive
call.
Here I come!
Can you take it?
Tornado Drive!
Burning strike. Water.
Dragon
Hear my
Swarm!
call. Do it.
More! Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade!
Am I on a roll or what?
Well, look who's in a bright and shiny mood.
I won't forgive you.
Can't get out of this!
You're finished!
Can you take
Here
it?
goes.
I'm not done! Burn in hell!
Here's a healing arc. Dreams.
Take this! It's over! Catapult! Demon Pet! Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
I'll heal you all. This ends now.
Consider yourself finished!
See you continue on in that vein.
Take this!
Yes, my lady?
Something you wanted to say?
Demon Pet!
This ends now.
Consider yourself finished!
Resonate with the earth!
Not a chance!
Into the raging
Dark
storm.
Knight! I can carve through armor!
Well then, I should probably think about tonight's menu.
We got some good equipment!
I can't say its appearance... is to my tastes, personally.
More Danon ruins here too, I see.
What were people even thinking back then? Trying to build anything around here.
Maybe they just had that much time and energy on their hands.
This one's tough, but we have no choice!
Let me know if you need
I shall
healing.
ensure you survive this.
You're mine! Orochi's Fury! You're finished! Here I come! Demon Peg! Here I come! Orochi's Fury! Plasma Shock! Now this one will take it!
Feel.
Now I can let loose!
Get on in there with the others. Reload.
Take this! Demon Peg! You're finished! Orochi's Fury!
Let's go.
Take this!
Freezing storm!
Shattering of pieces!
Ice tornado!
Snake of the abyssal deep.
Clear for us. I'm not done. Aqua Lunar Rondo! It's over! Lunar Rondo!
Now! Reload! Raging storm!
Take this!
I'm back into the fray!
You're mine!
Lightning condemned!
You're finished!
I'm ready! Hikara! Go for it! Prepare to crumble!
I need to be stronger.
Hey, look at that enemy!
Come one, come all! I'm not done!
Don't mind if I do!
Take this!
Lightning
Elusive Fury!
It's showtime! You're mine! Wind Captain! Lightning condemned!
You're mine!
Thunderblade!
Dragon Swarm!
Flame of Fury! Burning Strike!
Azure
Hear
Storm!
my call! Tempest
Take
Wall!
Glacier Sword!
Pierce Evil!
I'm not done!
Freeze
Elusive
Lancer!
Fury!
Benediction light.
Lightning
Well,
condemned!
we're on the home stretch now.
Don't take your eyes off the prize.
I'm quite aware without you reminding me.
Elusive
Lunar
deity.
Rondo! It's over!
Elusive
Lunar
deity.
Rondo!
Can you take it?
It's over! Take this!
Here goes!
You're finished!
More where that came from!
I'm ready.
Freezing! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
I think I'm getting stronger.
I sure have built up a sweat with this hike.
Rest. Assured, we have reached the top. It's all downhill from here, quite literally.
This will be a delicious piece of cake!
You're finished! Devastation! Take this! Dragon Swarm!
Cyan Instant!
My reach is even wider.
You picked the wrong fight! Demon Fang!
Lunar Blast!
Explosive Ring! We did it! Not a chance! Strike! Demon Fang!
Flame of Fury! Burning Thunder!
Take this!
Spear! Pierce Raging Cat! Not on my watch!
Raging Lunar Storm!
Freeze Lancer!
Your power is a spectacle to behold.
I'm not trying to be dramatic with it.
Still, it's a part of you. Embrace it.
Here I come!
Tempest!
Elusive deity.
I'm ready! It's over! Remember!
Astral Energy!
Say no more!
Am I on a roll or what?
Well, look who's in a bright and shiny mood.
Damn it!
This one will be difficult to predict.
Not today! Here I come!
Resonate with the earth!
Dragon Swarm!
You're mine! Raging Cascade! Annihilation! Here! Let's get you all out of the way!
Take this!
Now!
Remember!
Astral Energy!
Say no more! Got it!
Well done!
You're mine!
Stalagmite! On your knees.
It's on!
Glacial
It's over!
Spear!
Elusive Fury!
Thunder
Light
Wheel!
the shot!
Up and at it
You're
now!
mine!
My exploits are bearing fruit.
Dohalim's fighting style is... what's the word I'm looking for? Subdued? No...
Do you mean elegant, perhaps?
Yeah, that's the word. For better or worse, you can definitely tell he's cut from posh Renin cloth.
And he's not just skilled with the staff either. He can also use astral arts, including healing ones. I can see how he made it to the position of a lord.
You flatter me, but my fighting techniques merely come from a style that aims to conserve energy by minimizing body movement.
Is that why you wait until the last second before you dodge attacks? To avoid unnecessary movements?
No, I do that to sharpen my senses. I find that doing so is an effective means of drawing out my innermost strength.
Oh yeah, I've noticed you look stronger and strike out with your rod more after you dodge attacks. Guess that's why.
Still, it's a risk. Don't you ever worry you'll dodge at the wrong moment?
Then, it'll be just as well.
Huh?
It's nothing. Let us continue.
Let's dispose of the trash.
It's over!
Mega Ray!
Illusion!
Energy! Lightning descent! Not in your dreams!
You're mine! Rising Falcon!
Elusive
Speed! Crunch! Lightning!
Hear me! Flame of Fury! Lightning Order!
You're mine!
Raging Cascade!
You're mine!
Now!
Totally! In an instant! Impact Clock! We work well together.
Like a finely timed waltz.
You're finished!
Lightning! Down! Do it!
Totally! In an instant! Impact Clock!
Take
My turn!
One more!
You're finished!
Mega Ray!
Let's go!
Slugs really are as strong as they're said to be.
Actually, that would be formal.
Potatoes, potatoes. So that's how a lord fights.
I don't perform as well when I'm good.
I'm going to pretend I didn't hear you say that.
Long! Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade! This could be useful.
Phew, what a rush. Still thinking about how to act around Dohalim?
That obvious, huh? Except I don't think I'll be changing much after all. Don't get me wrong, I'm not going to stay his servant. However, I am going to treat him like a fellow comrade, the same way I would with you or anyone else. For as long as I can remember, I've spent my life protecting others. But isn't that what friends do too? Support and protect one another in times of need?
Which in the end pretty much means doing as you've always done, right? If that's what you're most comfortable with, I'm certainly not going to give you any grief over it.
Actually, I've been thinking about how I ought to act around you all as well.
Oh?
When I set out on this journey, it was to rid Eldaman and Sia of its enemies, and search for wisdom in the outside world. Wisdom that I could potentially put to use on my return. I'm grateful to you all for letting me tag along. But it got me thinking, what am I actually contributing by being here?
What are you talking about? You know how to hold a weapon, don't you? That's help enough.
Is it though? Sometimes I wish there was more I could be doing to pull my...
Oops, sorry about that. Jeez, I'm famished.
Now that you mention it, what do you guys normally do for food and meals when you're out and about on your travels?
What do you mean, what do we do? We find stuff to eat and eat it. So long as it's meat, I'm not fussy.
Eating what you like can be good for morale in the short term, but you need to think about your diet if you want to stay healthy.
Does that mean eating vegetables too?
Isn't that obvious?
It does, which I guess hasn't been happening up till now.
Yeah, to be honest, we could be eating better than we do.
Understood. In that case, I'll just have to make sure you're all staying healthy and eating right myself. Fortunately, I happen to know a thing or two about cooking as well.
You hear that, Law? Sounds like you'll be eating your greens after all.
What is it?
No, sorry, it's just... I was just wondering if you had any thoughts on all this.
It will do her good to have a project.
No, not Kisara. I meant you. Was there anything you wanted to add?
Me? Certainly you're not looking to me for culinary skill, I hope.
Typical Renin, leaving everything to someone else.
Rinwell, I don't think...
That said, should you need my skills on the battlefield, please rest assured I have no intention of shirking my responsibilities, regardless of who we may face.
I'm sure no one doubts that. Listen, guys, if we're traveling together, we should probably at least try to make an effort to get to know one another, don't you think?
I wouldn't get your expectations too high in that regard. Believe it or not, sometimes I'm not sure I even know myself all that well.
Something wrong? You look like you're deep in thought.
Not exactly. I was merely thinking about you two and your sense of etiquette.
Oh?
Etiquette?
Indeed. To be quite frank, I find your lack of manners to be nigh intolerable.
That's not being frank, that's being and forget it. Do we really need to talk about this now?
Yes, I find such impropriety on your parts to be deeply unsettling. It concerns me greatly.
What do you want us to do? We were slaves. We never got to learn how to be proper like you.
Yeah, what he said. Maybe you missed how we were just focused on surviving.
Perhaps, but Kisara here demonstrates that it's quite possible for a Denon to learn proper manners.
That's because I was given the opportunity to learn. Moreover, my duties as a guardsman required it. Not every realm is like Menancia, as you well know.
Yeah, I don't think it's fair to hold us to some other city standards.
Exactly. You've got to remember what it's been like for us living under the Rena elsewhere.
I will concede that you do indeed make a valid point. It would appear, for all my espousing the virtues of equality between our peoples, I was still looking down on the two of you.
You don't need to beat yourself up. I wasn't that offended by what you said, man.
Nevertheless, I shall mind my words from here on out. Having said that, I do believe you two would still benefit from learning the basics of proper society. I would be more than happy to teach you both when we camp out, if you like.
Yeah, no, I'll pass. Acting all prim and proper isn't really my style.
If you say so. How about you, Law? Would you like to learn? Although I suppose my first task is to reform your attitude toward the idea of good etiquette.
You're not gonna let this go, are you?
Hey, let's stop for a minute.
What's up? You already tired?
My armor's pretty heavy. I think I need a little rest.
I second that. All of this walking is starting to take its toll on me as well.
What? You don't look it.
We can't spare the time. There's places we need to be. Mahag Sar's capital, Niez, is our destination right now.
But if one of us collapses, it will only serve to slow us down. And in your case, Alphen is the only one who could carry you. Best to rest while you have the opportunity.
Enough already. I need a break, so we're taking one.
I don't need you fretting over me.
Fretting? Hey, it's not like I'm...
Been looking for you.
For me, why? Who are you? You said you were looking for me. Why?
Beautiful, precious life.
What the...
That is all I desire.
Then why are we fighting? Who even are you?
Sleep now.
Resonate with you! Stalagmite!
Burn in hell!
Got it. Now's our chance. Raging cascade.
Who the hell are you? Bastard!
This guy's not normal.
His speed is unbelievable.
You mean he even surpasses a lord?
Enjoy.
Raging Luna Storm!
Die. Hear my call.
Enjoy.
Where are you going? Thank you.
Then tonight's meal is on you.
You got it.
Freezing storm.
Here I come!
Ice tornado.
Air pressure!
Enjoy.
It wasn't weak. Raging storm.
Resonate with the earth!
Here.
Stalagmite!
Lunar corruption. Tempest. Gemini aqua. Tunnel.
Enjoy.
Hear the flame of fury. Burning strike.
Try harder!
Here.
My pistol!
May 1,000 gales carry you
No
to strike.
escape! Burn!
Show me your strength.
Now, while it's reeling!
Take it down!
You may be strong,
Healing
but I'll never back down!
Enjoy.
Try harder!
Raging
My
Luna!
turn!
Thank you.
It's over!
I'm only getting lost in
No further!
Is that all that you've got? Very well. Then die. A wretch like you? Till next time.
Shion, wake up, please!
Alphen?
Shion!
Thanks, but you're kinda crushing me.
Sorry.
It's okay. And so am I. It's not as bad as it looks.
Not bad. That's... Shion, we thought
I'm
you were...
fine. Really.
What the hell were you thinking?
Well, you were trying to protect me too, you know.
Yeah, but I have the sword. It's different.
It's not different. Besides,
Hmm?
Never mind. It's nothing. Anyway, thank you.
But I didn't. Look, I'm just glad that you're...
Alphen?
Sorry.
That guy said he'd be back. I think maybe we should get moving before he returns, right?
Rinwell has a good point. We need to go. Shion, are you sure you're okay?
Shion, are you sure you're okay?
Yeah, I already applied some healing arts to it. It didn't even leave a scar.
But his sword went nearly straight through you.
I'm all right. Unless I've turned into some kind of ghost and I'm haunting you all right now.
No, I know you're not. It's just...
Look, I appreciate you looking out for me, but I'm fine, really.
There was also that strange light that appeared when Shion was stabbed. It seemed to make the enemy retreat when he saw it. Alphen, do you have any idea what it might have been?
A light? I don't know. I was kind of preoccupied with other things at the time.
Now that I think of it, between that light and the blazing sword, just what sort of person are you, Alphen? Can you use Danon astral arts like Rinwell, perhaps?
He wouldn't know, Dohalim. He doesn't have any memories from his past, remember? Besides, we should really be getting out of here.
I suppose you're right. Forgive me. We've almost reached Niez, the capital of Mahag Sar. With any luck, we'll find a place there for Shion to rest.
Hey.
How are you holding up after that last fight? You're not too hurt, are you?
I'm fine, really. See for yourself.
If things get too tough out there, go ahead and fall back. I can take a beating if I need to.
I'm not here just to stand around and have everyone protect me.
I get that, but there's nothing wrong with admitting you have weaknesses too.
Do I look like I'm just trying to put on a brave face to you?
I can't feel pain, but you still can, can't you?
Look, I appreciate you're trying to look out for me, but even you go down in fights from time to time. Please, stop trying to babysit me. It's getting old.
It's not that. I just... What's that big tower over there?
What do you say we check back in on the ranch? Maybe I'll get some training in before we eat.
Dohalim, your spare bracers were getting dirty, so I polished them up along with the rest of your equipment.
Why, thank you, Kisara. I greatly appreciate that.
Maybe it's just my imagination, but you sure seem to fuss over Dohalim a whole lot, Kisara.
It is a little strange. Almost like you're still in his service.
Really? That's certainly not my intention. Besides, he's not the only one I'm like that with. Hey, Law, I saw your clothes were starting to get holes in them, so I stitched them back up for you.
Oh, wow. Thanks, Kisara.
Point taken. Do you just like looking after people?
I wouldn't go so far as to say I like it, but I get anxious if I don't. I'd always like to help if I can. It comes naturally to me. Back in the day, Miguel and I used to look after the younger kids a lot, so that's probably where it comes from. He taught me everything I know, and I mean everything. How to cook with wild plants, how to sew clothes so they'll last. Without him, we never would have been able to survive.
However, you're not a lord anymore, Dohalim. You need to get used to the idea that people aren't just going to wait on you hand and foot.
Yes, you're absolutely right. I'm ashamed to admit that I felt no qualms about her doing all that for me. As both a Renan and especially as a lord, one becomes too accustomed to those beneath you tending to your every need, both Renans and Danans alike.
Sure, that's how all you Renans are probably raised. But just to be clear, we're not your servants, Dohalim. Got that?
Absolutely. Moments such as this provide me with ample opportunity to confront my unease. It is difficult to tend with my own motivations.
What do you mean?
The truth of the matter is that my espousal of coexistence in Menancia hardly came from an idealistic place. That instinctive unease I feel deep within serves as a reminder for what it is that all of us here fight for.
Don't be so hard on yourself. No one's going to abandon you if you aren't always perfect.
Looking at her now, I think she's more like his mom than his servant.
This should definitely keep you guys full.
Dohalim, care if I hang out for a while? You worried about what's going on with Menancia?
What makes you think that?
Well, you were speaking to Kisara earlier, weren't you?
It's rude to listen in on others, you know.
Sorry. I didn't hear what you two were actually talking about, though. I just figured it was Menancia since it was the two of you.
I am but a former lord who has abandoned his post. I'm no longer in a position to lead the realm in any capacity whatsoever. Yet Kisara still seeks out my opinions, knowing full well that is the case. This despite the fact I am no longer her master either.
Couldn't it be precisely because you're not her master anymore? It's natural for friends to want to hear each other's opinions.
I hadn't considered that possibility.
It's funny what you miss sometimes.
Hardly uncommon among artistic types such as myself, When lordships are decided based solely on one's astral energy, it can lead to funny results.
But even so, you still took your job as Lord seriously, didn't you?
Certainly. I learned to perform my functions. However, I was less interested in ruling, so much as avoiding life and death decisions. Of course, such a mentality in the end led only to sickening pain and death taking place elsewhere out of sight. I pretended not to see or hear any of it, content to let our supposed peace and equality keep me blind and deaf to reality. I was a fool.
But you're making amends.
I would like to think so. The path ahead is dark, yet I still walk on. I merely pray that I shan't fall down any holes along the way. We'd best get ready for tomorrow. Shall we get moving?
You can never be too prepared. But did we have to spend so much?
Guess I misread the landing. Not this way, I guess.
This'll be a delicious piece of cake.
It's over!
Don't mind if I do. By the power of water,
Demon Fang! Try this! Explosive!
now! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
See you continue on in that vein.
Yes, my lady?
Something you wanted to say?
I'm ready! Still!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
They're coming through!
I'm ready! Kisara! Commander of Heaven! Phoenix Cyclone!
That extra training paid off.
Go no further!
Burn! How about this?
Whistle, lightning condemned! Thunderbolt!
Explosive rain! I'm ready! Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade!
Here's a healing arm!
Pesky airborne scoundrels.
Sounds like a job for yours truly!
Take this! I'm ready! In an instant! Impact Claw! We work well together.
Like a finely timed rope.
On your knees!
The enemy wields arcs too.
We'll soon see about that!
Dragon Form!
I never miss! Oh, quit staring and concentrate on the fight. I don't take orders from you. None
Heal! Now, let...
The heavens must be smiling.
out of our way!
No further! Here I come! This one's all mine!
Snake is the official deep.
Clear for us a path! Burn it down! Aqua Demon Fang! Try this!
None shall escape my judgment!
Last lift shock!
Benediction light.
Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno! Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade!
Here's a healing
My
arm!
turn! Strike!
Why'd you human?
To stop you dying?
Right.
I need to be stronger.
This'll be a delicious piece of cake! Not my watch! Can't be swallowed!
You're finished!
Blown flight!
Denied! Air pressure! I'll smash you!
Fire instant!
We got flyers!
I got this! Let a marksman handle it!
An astral art? All yours!
Raging storm!
This one's all mine!
Corruption!
Take this!
Can't get out of this!
Firmament render!
Not today!
On your
Lightning!
knees.
Arrow squall!
I'll take you all on! I'm ready! Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade!
Benediction
Not a
light.
chance!
A
I'm
freezing
not done!
storm! Where are you going?
Here! Okay, here
Lightning!
I come!
Downfall! I'm out! I'm almost up! Air to annihilate! Do it!
Totally! In an instant! Impact Claw! I still got a ways to go!
I found some equipment.
Let me take a look at it.
Finally. If only we could have flown with the wind to get here faster.